I know a lot of us aspire to own a car, and one of my goals for 2024 was to own my first car before the year ended. This is just my story, a little motivation to someone who might be feeling like you're working but it's not going anywhere. This is my journey. This is how I was able to buy my car with no loans, no debts, straight cash, just savings, grinding and savings. So if this is something you're interested in, please stick around for the video.
Found my peace and grounding, now on the level. New beginning, hello.
Now that I've got your attention, I want you to know that this video is not in any way, shape, or form a video to brag or to boast about what I've accomplished, because I'll never do that. It's strictly motivation to someone who may aspire to own a car. You don't know where to start. You don't know how you're gonna do it, because a few years ago, if you told me that I'd be owning my car now, or at least by the end of 2024, I'd tell you that that was not possible. But God made a way. He did make a way, and this is just my journey. A couple years ago, I was living in an apartment, well, not an apartment, but a house actually that I was renting. I wasn't comfortable there. That was in 2023. I wasn't comfortable there, and I decided that I'm gonna move. At the time, I was comfortable enough with my jobs, because if you know me or if you're close to me, you know that I'm a hard-working girl. Never the lazy kind, always working, right? If you have ever been associated with me, you'll know that fact about me. So I've always been working multiple jobs at the same time. And that is one key thing that I want you to take away from this video. Working one job is not gonna get you the dream life that you want. Unless you're in some high paying job that one income can cover everything. Mind you, I don't have a degree. I just left high school with my subjects, and that's it. And I was able to land high paying jobs. Not to say that they're paying me like $1 million per month each. No, but close with my jobs combined. So it can work. We can make it work. I have been making it work, and we can make it work. Going back to where I was living, I wanted to move. I ended up moving the November of 2023 into my apartment, this apartment that I'm in right now. And it's the best decision I've ever made. I have no regrets. At the time when I moved, I was working 3 jobs. Yes, I was working 3 jobs when I moved. And the December of 2023, I resigned from one of those jobs. So I was working 2 jobs at a time. And then in February of 2024, I left another one of those jobs. So I only had 1 job at a time. And it was the early part of February that I left the second job. Then I did an interview for another job, and I got the job in the latter part of February. So that made up for the one that I left, and I have been working those 2 jobs since. As I said, one income is no income. One income is no income. And if I'm ever in a position where I only have 1 income, then trust and believe that I'm going to go out there, I'm going to search, I'm going to try to do something on my own, just so that I have an additional income, because 1 income is no income. Keep that in mind, right? I've always wanted to own my car, and then when I moved here, I realized how difficult it was with public transportation, because we don't have a designated set of taxis that come over to the scheme that I'm living in. And sometimes it's hard to get taxi, especially when you go grocery shopping and you have a lot of stuff. It's hard to get drives. So many times I'd have to charter taxis, and I felt like that was just a waste of my money. And I wanted to own my own car. So I had it in my mindset from the get-go that I'm going to own my car. Before the year ends, I would own my car. And that has been my mindset. that is one of the reasons why I was absent from YouTube, because to be honest, YouTube is a hobby for me at this point, because even though my channel is monetized, I've not been consistent. And the main fact is I've not been consistent, and consistency, we know you have to be consistent to be able to see something. So YouTube is not like I've been getting YouTube paychecks or anything. I've never received a YouTube paycheck, so I had to zone in on the jobs that were paying me. You get it? So at one point work became hectic, and I had to just zone in on the 2 jobs that I was doing to ensure that I kept my income in line. But as I said, I am back on YouTube. I am back because I love you guys. I love putting out content for you. I love the whole process. But not to stray away from the point, I just wanted to say that, yeah, that's the reason I've been absent from YouTube, really, just to zone in on my jobs. 2024 has been a good year for me. I can't complain. I will never ever complain. I'm super grateful, and I have to thank the Father God made everything possible. I have to give all the thanks to the man up above, because if it wasn't for him, none of this would have been possible. And I said that to say, I came into this thing manifesting what I want, manifesting my apartment, manifesting my jobs, manifesting my car, and I have so many more things to go, and I know that they will come true, because prayer and nothing beats prayer. Nothing beats prayer. So guys, you need to stay prayed up. Whatever you want, speak it into being, pray about it and leave it into God's hands. But you also need to work towards it. Once the man say I work towards it, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you a little push and just set you off. What happened was that I started saving. So from those 2 jobs, I had a really steady income, and I used one of my jobs for bills, all my necessities, miscellaneous stuff and everything, and then the other paycheck would have just went straight into my savings account untouched. And for months I kept doing this over and over, just saving my paycheck untouched and using my other paycheck to finance my life, like bills and everything else that surrounds my daily life. I started saving to the point where I felt really good. I felt so proud of myself to know that I was able to do this. It was at that point where I decided that, you know what, I think I'm ready to get my car. When I said I'm ready to buy my car now, I look on the money in my account, I was like, okay, this is it. And for months, I would, once I sign off work in the night, that would be it. I shower and I jump into my bed, and I would be on the internet, car shopping. So I would be looking on cars on the internet every single night, and I did this religiously every night after work, like clockwork. I would just be looking on cars, and I would say to my boyfriend that I would send him some stuff, any little thing I don't understand, I would bring him into the process. Sometimes he didn't even have the answers to give to me either, but I feel like he was just annoyed at one point, and I just like, you know, when you're curious, you're excited, you're anxious, you have all these emotions. That was me, because I'm like, bro, you know how hard, you know how far me I come from, you know how hard I've worked for this. I don't have to take out a loan to get this. I don't have to turn to anybody. I did not get help from any family or anybody. I did this on my own. So I feel really proud. I felt really proud of myself. Mind you, the car not come into place yet, you know. The car is not in place yet. It's just me eye shopping to kind of get an idea of what car I wanted, what are the specs that I wanted for the car and stuff. And then when I said it to a few people, they were like, don't buy this car, don't buy that car. And those are the cars that I really loved. And I was like, okay, they're saying because I'm new to the road, I'm a new driver, period. And because I'm new to the road, it's my first car, it's my first experience, I should get something that can take fender bender, or you know, the little scratch here and there and there and there. And I'm like, well, why would y'all tell me this? Like, I'm not gonna be driving and hitting my car every turn I make, so why would y'all tell me this? But I kept the idea in the back of my head regardless, and I got good feedback from a couple people, a few people, because only really a few people knew that I wanted to buy my car. Even when I actually bought the car, close, only like a few close people to me knew that I bought the car, and that was just because it's immediate family, so I had to, you know, bring them in the know. Going back to the car shopping every night, I know that it was about in June, July when I said, you know, I'm ready. But at that point, I didn't find a car that I really loved. I had a Toyota in mind, Honda, Benz, BMW, and Audi, right? And Benz, BMW, Audi were like far off the list. It would be like a 1 in a million chance. If I really see something within my price range that I wanted, I would take it. But it was like Toyota and Honda were the main brands I was going for. And I kept searching until at one point I was just fed up. I was like, I'm not gonna get a car by the end of the year because I'm not seeing anything that I really want to buy. It came down to the latter part of August and I still did not see the car that I wanted to buy. And I was like, oh Jesus. But then when I reached out to the person who was gonna import the car, and I'm saying this because I went through the process of importing my car. So when I reached out to the person who was going to import the car, I was like asking them to send me some suggestions. What do they think? What kind of car I should buy as a first-time driver, somebody who is new to the road and so forth. And they were giving me suggestions. They were mentioning Honda Fit and, you know, the little car. And my mindset has always been, I don't want a little car. I really don't want a little car. So when they were mentioning Honda Fit and stuff, I was like, no, me don't want that. I don't want that because I don't think a little car fit me. Right? At the time, I don't think a little car was the one for me. I wanted something, you know, hefty. I wanted something sexy and yeah, giving body. So I was like, no, I don't want to fit. And then again, the fit, I'm a person who I don't really like to fit in. I like to stand out in some ways. So buying a Honda Fit would be like you're buying the car everybody else is driving, because everywhere you turn you see a million Honda Fits, and I was like, I don't want that. I think I've worked hard enough to get something really nice that I really want. And if I had put myself in a Honda Fit, I wouldn't feel as pleased. You understand? And the little car idea was just, it wasn't giving at all. So I was like, I don't want a little car. But I got a couple suggestions. I didn't take them. I didn't work on them though. I just had the idea in mind to say, okay, this could be an option, but I really didn't want those. It came down to September, the early part of September. And I was like looking for car. I was looking for Mercedes, BMW, Honda, Toyota, and I still couldn't see anything that I really wanted to buy within my price range. Because even though I had the money, it's not like I didn't want to go ahead and splurge too much on a first car, because you know anything can happen. I'm new to the road, anything can happen. So I didn't want to really put a lot of money into getting my first car. So I had my budget to get my first car, and I was like, it seems I'm not gonna find anything. But it ended up that one night when I was on my computer going through looking for cars, and a mind said, why not search Audi, because it's been a while since you've searched Audi. And I went on Audi and I started searching. I put in the specs and stuff that I wanted to come with the car, and I didn't put any price range. I just put the brand, the model, and the specs that I wanted for the car. I wasn't getting enough cars based on the specs that I added, so I ended up removing a couple of the specs. I had some specs that were like a must. I had to have those. And then I saw two other cars that were reasonable. I'm gonna tell you, reasonable. They were reasonable for that type of car. They were reasonable. I saw a Q2, Audi Q2. You know, it's the SUV type Audi, but it's the small body. I think it's the smallest body SUV in Audi's brand. And I was like, I really love this, but the price point was a little over, well, not really a little over my budget. It was over my budget because I didn't really want to spend that much for my first car. But then again, I love the car. Everything about it I loved, and I was like, God, should I buy this? But then there was also another car that I was like, this is cheap. To me, I said it was cheap, and then I started looking at what's wrong with this car, why it's this cheap. And then I went over the photos. I looked at the pictures, inside out, underneath, everywhere, and I couldn't see anything really wrong with the car. Nothing was wrong with the car, and I was like, why is this car so cheap? So I ended up sending both of those cars to the person who was importing the vehicle, and I asked for her opinion. And she said, this is a good deal. She was looking at the sedan and not the SUV mostly. So I was like, I want you to order this one. The one I sent her to her was the SUV. I spoke to my sisters and they said, yes, get the SUV because this nice and whatever, and you don't want no liquor car. And I was like, God, am I making the right decision? Everybody said, except my boyfriend said, go with the SUV. And I was like, I was trying to calculate how much I was gonna pay, because one thing with me now, once I'm spending money to do something, or it's not even spending money, but once I'm doing something, I want to be knowledgeable about it. So I'm gonna research, I'm gonna Google, I'm gonna go on YouTube, if you know me, you know I'm gonna research. I'm gonna research. So I went on YouTube, I went on Google, and I started searching up stuff on this car, see how it looks in real life, see how it drives and stuff, so forth. And I was like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And I was like, okay, and it's cheap. So the price was like, the price point was like my selling point for the car, because if it was even $1,000 more, meaning $1,000 more, I probably would have went with the SUV. But because of the cost, that's what really sold me for this car. And I was like, you know what? I sent to the lady, ordered the Q2 for me, and she responded like she wanted me to confirm that, yeah, this is really the car that I wanted. And when she responded to me, I was like, I looked into myself, and then I started calculating how much I would pay to clear the vehicle. I didn't know the exact figure, but it was an estimate I was working with in my head. And I was like, whoa, if I take this car, then that would mean I would pay the money that I would spend for this car alone. I would just need to put XYZ amount on this to get the other car. So I would be saving a lot more money there. And I was like, should I take this car? I was really conflicted. But then I ended up going with, I said to her, no, you know what? No, don't order this one, order that one. And she said, okay. Immediately after I sent it to her, she placed the order, because I was rushed into the decision as well, because she was like, because of the price point on it, there was nothing wrong with the car. A lot of people were inquiring about it. She said she had to make an offer on it to hold it. So if I really want the car, I need to make a decision fast. And that's what I did. I rushed the decision and said, all right, take this one instead. And that's what I did. Even though it was a decision that I didn't have much time to make, it was like, okay, should I do this or should I do? And I was, okay. It's done. I felt a lot of emotions, good emotions. I was anxious, I was happy, I was overjoyed. It was just a lot of emotions all at once. Then I tried to send her the funds to pay for the car. At the time, it was in the evening, and I had a limit. Well, the bank has a general limit on how much you can transfer for the day. So because the amount was way over the amount that's I'm eligible to transfer for the day, I had to go into the bank the next day to let them do the transfer for me from their end. And mind you, I had to pay for the transfer, but that was good. I transferred the funds to the lady. She paid for the car and said, I think they told me that I would get the car within 8 weeks. I think they said 6 to 8 weeks. So you know, say me know, I say, all right, my car will come November and massages everything. I'll have it before the year ends. So girl, excited now, you know, a whole lot of excitement all over again. I completely forgot to tell you guys Happy New Year. This is what I should have opened the video with, because this is my first video of 2025 and I forgot to tell you Happy New Year, but I'm gonna insert it somewhere in the video. I hope that whatever dreams, whatever aspirations you have, you're working towards this year. Hope last year was prosperous and this year will be even better and we're working towards our goals. All right, so Happy New Year, guys. I hope the year started out right, and even if it didn't, don't knock it, pray. Nothing beats prayer. Pray about your situation. One thing, the persons who were importing the car, they did not communicate with me much, so I had to follow up with them, but I didn't mind because these were people that my boyfriend knew personally, so I knew it wasn't a scam or anything like that. It was legit and all of that, because we did business with them before, so we knew it was legit. It was just a waiting game, and throughout the waiting process I was excited, but I wasn't that excited until I really got the car. I ended up waiting 3 months, so I ordered it early September and I didn't get it until the week before Christmas. I believe the second week in December is when I got the car. The whole process was not hectic. It was just me sending the money, waiting to get the car. When I was supposed to get the car, as a matter of fact, they said that customs were doing some stuff so that they didn't get it clear and I had to wait an extra week. So you know, somebody telling you that you're getting something on Friday and then Friday come, you have to wait another week. Like, it was just, I was frustrated at that point, but I know I was just leaving everything into God's hands, because whatever needs to happen is going to happen and it's on his timing. So I just rode out the storm and waited until the other week, and then finally my car came. I was so happy when it came. The first day I didn't get to see it, but my boyfriend did, and then I went and saw it the next day and I was so happy. The feeling I had was one of happiness, accomplishment, and just overjoyed. I was just filled with emotions to know that I did this and I did it all alone. I don't have multiple businesses on the side. I don't have people, I don't have generational wealth. I don't have anything that was handed down to me. I don't have a rich dad. I don't have a rich mother. I don't have a rich uncle. I don't have rich nobody. So I had to do things on my own. And I decided that I'm not staying in poverty. I need to get my life together, and I'm going to do it regardless of what this might look like to others. My thing was always to not work one job. And this is the reason why I was able to do this within such a short time. Remember, I told you I got the second job in February, the latter part of February. Then in March, when I received that paycheck in March, I used that money to buy my laptop, to buy my MacBook. I would have had some money left because I didn't spend my full paycheck to buy the MacBook. So let us check it from April, May, June, July, August, September. So basically 6 months. I was able to save within 6 months to get my car. And I did it this way because it was more convenient to me. I didn't have to pay all of the money up front, because I sent the person the money to pay for the car, to import the car, and then once it came to customs in the couple of months, within the 3 months, they were able to send the invoice to me and the amount that was required to clear the vehicle, and then at that point I sent them that amount. So I did it in 2 stages, and I felt like it worked out for me, because if I was to buy that car out here, I would have paid way more than what I spent. And I'm not just saying this, this is facts, because I did my research. I looked at companies selling the same car or something similar for way more than what I spent. So I don't regret the decision that I made, and if I was to do it again, I would do it all over again the same way that I did it. Don't listen to the noise of the market. If you're working a 9 to 5, you can work your 9 to 5 and be able to live comfortable, be able to afford the things that you want to afford in life. You just need to have your head on your body. Don't live above your means. I know how it goes when you want to go out, you want to explore, you want to have fun, you want to do this, you want to do that, because you see people on the internet doing it. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything that they're doing. You have your goals, you have your dreams, your aspirations. You don't know what they're doing to get their money to be able to afford these things, but you know what you're doing. You're working your honest bread. So you need to save and keep your head by your body. I had to zone in on work to be able to afford my lifestyle, as I would say, not just the car, but my lifestyle in general. If I didn't do that, I would not be in this apartment. I would not be living as comfortable as I am living now. I know I have a far way to go, because this is not even the beginning, but it's a start. If you're working a 9 to 5, if you only have one job, try to get a second job. I am doing it so you can do it too. If it's not even a full-time job, do something on the side, do something part-time. There are lots of opportunities that you can do on the side just to be able to save some money. You may not be able to do it within 6 months like I did, but at least over time you'll be able to. At one point in time, you know you can go and say, yeah, I'm able to do this now, I'm able to buy this now. And you'll feel so much more comfortable within yourself knowing that you did this. But as I said, this is in no way, shape, or form a video bragging about what I've accomplished. It's motivation to somebody who may think that you can't do it working a 9 to 5. I am proof that you can do it working a 9 to 5. I have 2 jobs, and both of those 2 jobs are full-time jobs. And if I tell you how I do them, you'd be surprised. And there are lots of other people doing the same thing that I am doing, so that means you can do it too. I didn't tell you the car that I bought, but it's an Audi A1. It's my little mini, even though I was stuck on the fact that I did not want a little car. My little mini has been so faithful. It has been good to me. It's not even 2 months yet since I started driving her, and I love it. I love my car. I have a lot of customization to do, but I love it just the way it is, and when I get it customized, I'm gonna love it even more. But right now, it doesn't have 2 other things that I really wanted it to have. It doesn't have a reverse camera, and it doesn't have a hand rest. I already bought the reverse camera, but it's not installed yet, even though your girl master reversing with her mirrors. It forced me to learn to reverse with my mirrors, so it's not really a necessity at this point, but it would be nice to have it installed on the cars just the same. And then I want to get the hand rest because it doesn't have any hand rest, but besides that, car good. If you've reached this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was motivation for you, for somebody who is, it doesn't have to be a car. You're aspiring to get something done, work hard and get it done. You don't even have to work hard nowadays, just work smart, because that's what I've been doing. Work smart, have your head by your body. And at one point I was even working 3 jobs. If you come this far, comment Audi. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.